by Nedbank Commercial Banking. See money differently.
Let's go to the Ad Hoc Committee in Parliament investigating corruption and political interference. And you'll know we've been following the story about the subpoena of Brown Mogotsi and forensic investigator Paul O'Sullivan. Well, the National Assembly Speaker, Thoko Didiza, has denied protecting Brown Mogotsi and Paul O'Sullivan. The EFF's leader, Julius Malema, accused her of political protection over her refusal to subpoena the two men. So we're going to hear from the EFF and then we'll hear from the ANC as well. Mazwi Blose is an EFF MP and joins us now. Mazwi, good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for your time. Why does the EFF believe that Thoko Didiza is protecting Brown Mogotsi and Paul O'Sullivan?
Well, good afternoon, Mary, and good afternoon to your listeners. It's not a belief. It's based on factual evidence that have transpired over the past few months. Because if you recall, it was written to the Speaker around October that we needed these subpoenas for, in particular, Paul O'Sullivan, because Brown Mogotsi is just basically a beneficiary of the protection of Paul O'Sullivan. Now, the Speaker responds to us, just a few weeks later before the committee must close its work. And she's refusing to issue the subpoenas on the basis that the committee has not addressed some security concerns that Paul O'Sullivan and Brown Mogotsi would have raised with the committee. But if you go and look at it practically, there is no credible evidence, there is no institution that has came to Parliament or to the committee itself and said that these claims that Paul O'Sullivan is claiming security threats on his life are true. So you can't just come to Parliament and write us a letter and say there's a security threat on my life without any valid assessment that has been made against that. So there needs to be tangible proof, there needs to be credible evidence, because we are questioning, the Speaker is basing her decision based on what? Just on the word of mouth of Paul O'Sullivan. And that cannot suffice. It cannot be taken into Parliament as something that can then say that we are shielding Paul O'Sullivan, because basically he's just trying to run away from accountability. He's trying to run away from being held accountable by those people that he deemed unfit to question him.
So their argument, or the Speaker's argument, and the ANC basically, that we'll speak to shortly, they're saying that it's not that Brown Mogotsi and Paul O'Sullivan don't want to appear, it's just that they want to appear virtually. So they're not running away from testifying, they just don't want to testify in person. Does that explanation hold water for you?
No, it doesn't hold water, because remember, Paul O'Sullivan is a very arrogant individual, by the way, and we've seen how he conducts himself, and he has been in the center of this whole mess, because we even know from the testimonies of other, witnesses who have came forward that he's the one who even handpicked national commissioners of this country. So to have him on a virtual platform, he's going to get irritated by us and he's just going to switch off. And he's already made it public that he doesn't feel that he needs to be questioned by the likes of the EFF, the MK and Action SA and all of that. So he doesn't take serious anyone. He thinks he's above the law. He thinks he's a special citizen of this country. And we're not going to allow him to have him on a virtual platform, because he's not an individual that behaves. So he must come and sit in front of us so that we tell him in his face that he is a nobody and he must behave as a citizen in this country and he must protect the laws of this country. So Brown Mogotsi is just benefiting from that rhetoric of Paul O'Sullivan. Right. So we are not going to agree that he comes virtually. We want him physically in Parliament.
You'll know that there was an assassination of a witness in the Madlanga inquiry. Yesterday there was another attempt on a witness in the Madlanga inquiry. Obviously, some safety concerns may be legitimate for some people. Do you acknowledge that?
But we've always said that the Ad Hoc Committee is not a minor or a baby committee of the Madlanga Committee. So what happens in the Madlanga Committee does not implicate us. We are a committee of Parliament. We are based in Parliament where there is high security, where there is a police enforcement. We are not based in some hall somewhere whereby extra security or whatever that is done. If the people are going to be coming from Joburg, from Durban to Cape Town, Parliament can provide that security from Cape Town Airport to Parliament Precinct. The Parliament Precinct is safe, it's protected and all of that. So we are saying, but we are not dismissing that if there are any additional security threat that needs to be provided, those things can be provided by Parliament, subjected that there is proof to that. Because you will remember earlier that Brown Mogotsi said there was a security threat on his life, only to find that we were told that he shot his own car. So he then went and fabricated that story when he came from Madlanga Commission. So we cannot allow that to be an excuse. So we need to make sure that there is a credible institution that can verify these claims, and then the necessary procedures can be made. And also, those security measures cannot be provided by the Ad Hoc Committee. They must be provided by Parliament, because we're a committee of Parliament. So it is the responsibility of the Speaker, and we don't understand why she's bringing it back to us if she feels that those security concerns are real. She should have then said that these then are the measures that I'm putting and making sure that these witnesses come forward in Parliament.
Mazwi, thank you very much. Mazwi Blose from the EFF MP speaking to us there.